they don't need much support. They need more direction because they are low on competence. So a more directive or authoritarian or micromanaging is really more effective because it is just such for the short term. Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goals at this video is to walk you through what are the different management styles and how we can use them when it comes to managing people online. Now if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run my own outsourcing company here in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to run a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now when it comes to running a company online where you have virtual employees, you might be hiring virtual assistants, you might be hiring freelancers, your management style might have to shift a little bit just because you do have to accommodate to the different cultures. Maybe if you're hiring across countries, you might be accommodating different time zones. You might be accommodating just different types of people that might respond to one kind of management style to the other. And the different management or leadership styles that I'm going to be talking about in this video will kind of reflect on the kind of person you are, will reflect where your person is at, and will hopefully help you have more clarity on what kind of manager to be in different times. Now, a lot of this video is going to be based on the book Self-Leadership and the 1 Minute Manager, and it's actually honestly one of my favorite series, that series of the 1 Minute Manager books. And you guys would have seen me done a lot of other videos about it as well, but it is such a good way for you to know how to even adjust your leadership style, because you're probably not just this type of manager. You're probably going to be going through a range depending on who you're talking to and the person that you are managing, the tasks that they're doing. So it's going to really depend on that. So I'm going to walk you guys through the different leadership styles inside of the book Self-Leadership and the 1 Minute Manager, so then you know how to adjust yourself as you're managing different people online. Now in the book, they talk about how different people, as they're starting out with a task, they might have different levels of competence and commitment to doing the job. So in the book, it talks about how if someone is starting out with a new task, something they've never done before, they're going to be high commitment but low competence. What this means is that they're going to be really willing to learn. They're willing to dive into it, to start doing it, but they really have no idea what they're doing. So that's where a lot of us get started. Like when I got started on this YouTube channel, I was really committed to posting 2 times a week. I was making TikTok videos. I was doing so many other different things, not really knowing what I was doing, but that's kind of where everyone starts. Now, with someone who is high on commitment but low on being able to actually do it, knowing how to do it, then you step into what is called the directive leadership style, or what is usually called, authoritarian or micromanaging. Now, what this looks like is you are high on directive but low on supportive. Because this person already is highly committed in making sure that this task gets done, that this project gets done, they don't need much support. They need more direction because they are low on competence. So a more directive or authoritarian or micromanaging is really more effective because it is just such for the short term. It's not for the long term for sure, but it's just at the beginning of that task or project. You are going to be investing more time into your person because, again, they're just getting started. They don't know what they don't know just yet. So you are going to be directing them, making sure that they skip the mistakes that you've probably already made, so then they can just get on to actually working on the things that need to get done. Now, after some time, they will learn some competence. However, their commitment also goes a little bit lower because as you are learning a new skill, you are probably going to be like, oh, there's this so much of things to learn. So that you're going to have a little bit of that lower commitment of like, oh yeah, this is a lot of work. I didn't expect it to be this a lot of work. And now I know more. It might not be as exciting as it was the first time. So the competence goes higher, but the commitment goes a little bit lower. So that's kind of what is a natural thing that happens again when you're learning a new thing. Now, as a manager, you move on to the next stage of being a manager, or this is a management style that you can pick, which is just mostly called a coaching leadership or management style. Now, when you are in the coaching phase, or when you're choosing to be a coach manager, you are high on directive still and you're high on supportive. The biggest reason for this is that they need both. They're kind of a little bit knowing what they're supposed to do, but they've again gone down on the commitment because they're less excited because now they see what work needs to get done. So you need to be both supportive and directive with them to make sure that they're kept on the path of where they need to go. You are now really more on selling them on, hey, this is where we're going. Remember, this is the goal, this is where we're getting you towards, this is just the path that we now have to take. So you're kind of hand-holding them. Instead of just telling them what to do, you're now hand-holding them of like, okay, these are different steps that we need to take to be able to get to where we want to go. Now, after a while, after they've gone through, like, okay, now I'm learning more about this, now I'm getting it, how to do this task or this project, they'll get to the point where they have a medium to high competence, but their commitment is still variable because they now know what they're supposed to know. And with this, you pair it up with more of a supportive management style or leadership style. Now, supportive management or leadership style is you're basically now just low on directive, but you're high on supportive. So you guys will see, hopefully you're getting the gist of, if they're low on competence, you go high on directive. And if they're low on commitment, you go high on supportive. So you kind of see that as a lever of like where you're going to focus your management style with. Because one of the things that they talk about in the book is you will have different management styles per person or per task even that they're doing. So your virtual assistant could be someone who is just amazing at email management. You don't even need to support them. But then when they get started on learning a different tool, like let's say they're going to be learning a tool called Notion, then it's going to be harder for them. So you need to be supportive and directive on that. So it's going to be even different levels. So as you get into this third stage of like being supportive, you're kind of seeing like, hey, they know what to do. I don't have to direct them. They just need a little bit of a support. They just need a little bit of cheering on so they can get to the next stage. Now, the final stage where your person, your virtual assistant or your employee is high on competence and they're also high on commitment because they now know what to do. This is where you step into more a delegative style of leadership. So a delegative style of leadership is you are just honestly low on directive and low on supportive because they're supporting themselves. They're high again in that competence and being able to be committed. So you don't really need to do much. You're now just delegating. You're now telling them like, hey, you're not just giving them the task of like, hey, now you do this. So then for that virtual assistant or the remote employee, they now know it's now going to start being just automatic to them. They don't have to think about it. It's now just a quick and easy thing in their head versus where they were in the beginning, where it was a little bit hard. They did need to learn and to go through it and actually get to the other side. When you're in more of the delegating leadership style, it's going to just be you letting them know like, hey, this is now the next goal. Because again, they know how to get there, they know what to do. And then later on, if they're going to do a new task again, you're going to maybe really just start this all over again. Because that's just the whole process of being a manager, of being a leader, is every time that you give them a new task or skill or project or anything else that they need to learn, you kind of have to start at here, unless they already have some competence, which we can skip to the second level. But that's usually the whole path that you have to go through with your employee every time. It's not always going to be starting again from scratch. Might be that you jump to level 3. They actually know what to do, but they just need more support. So when you're managing different people online, try to see what kind of manager that they need at that moment, and know that you can be flexible. It doesn't have to be that you're always micromanaging this one person. It could be that you're micromanaging them and then teaching them how to be more independent, so then you can get to the delegative style. So try to mix and match your leadership style or your management style with your people, because again, it will vary depending on the person that you are managing, the person that you are taking care of, and the tasks that you're also doing. Being a leader or a manager doesn't have to be this terrifying big thing. It can be really easy as long as you have the right resources and of course supporting yourself throughout the whole process. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what kind of leadership style do you usually default to, and now that you know this, what kind of leadership style do you want to get to? And if you guys still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Now, if you guys have an awesome day, remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!